Hey, my fellow anglers and friends of the rod and reel. Your old fishing buddy is back with another crucial forecast to help you land that trophy catch. Today, we're diving deep into the fishing conditions for Tuesday, October 14th, 2025, across our beloved United States. Get ready, because this day holds some fantastic opportunities, especially as fish are in their autumn feeding frenzy. We're going to break down the weather, water, moon, and fish behavior to give you the ultimate edge. This mid-October day is shaping up to be quite special, with a transition in weather patterns that could really turn on the bite. First up, let's talk about the ever-popular largemouth and smallmouth bass, a favorite for so many of us. Where to look? My friends, with cooling water temperatures, these green and brown machines are often moving shallower, seeking out warmer pockets and baitfish. Focus on areas with remaining grass edges, submerged timber, rock piles, and points that offer cover and ambush opportunities. In larger lakes and reservoirs, don't ignore secondary points and creek arms. In rivers, look for current breaks and deeper eddies near structure. This is because cooler water drives baitfish to shallower zones and the bass follow. What to use? For largemouth, a spinnerbait or a square bill. Crankbait can be deadly, especially when worked quickly around cover. If the bite is tougher, a Texas-rigged or wacky-rigged worm dropped into those grass mats or around sunken structure can entice a strike. For smallmouth, consider small swim baits, tube jigs, or Ned rigs on light line, focusing on rocky bottoms and current seams. Remember, they're feeding up, so don't be afraid to try slightly larger presentations to mimic those calorie-rich meals. Next, let's target the elusive and delicious walleye. Where to look? Walleye will be actively feeding, often congregating along main lake points, offshore humps and deep weed lines, especially where there are good drop-offs. In some regions, like the Great Lakes or larger rivers, they'll be moving towards river mouths or tributaries as they sense the approaching cold. Think about areas where baitfish are abundant and there's a good transition in depth, as walleye are ambush predators. What to use? Trolling with crankbaits can cover a lot of water and be very effective for suspended walleye, especially in open water. For those targeting them from shore, particularly in specific lakes known for walleye, vertical jigging with minnows or soft plastics near drop-offs can be a game-changer. Don't forget live bait rigs with a shiner or leech, presented slowly along the bottom. Sometimes natural presentation is key. And for our coastal comrades, let's talk about striped bass. Where to look? For our friends along the northeast and mid-Atlantic coasts, this is prime time. Striped bass are migrating south, and you'll find them blitzing baitfish along the beaches, inlets and estuaries. In the Chesapeake Bay, they're active throughout, often suspending along steep channel edges. Look for diving birds. They're your best indicator of feeding stripers, as they pinpoint the baitfish being pushed to the surface. What to use? Topwater lures are incredibly exciting when they're crashing bait on the surface, offering explosive strikes. Otherwise, large swim baits, lipless crankbaits, or even live lining eels or spot can be incredibly effective, especially around structure or current funnels. Trolling umbrella rigs is also becoming popular for targeting those suspended fish in deeper channels. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of why these tactics will work. Weather. For October 14th, 2025, the general forecast across much of the US points to a mostly clear day. Air temperatures will be quite mild, ranging from around 51 degrees Fahrenheit in the morning, climbing to near 59 or 60 degrees by midday and evening, then settling around 55 degrees overnight. We're expecting minimal precipitation, just a trace, if any, which is great for being out on the water. Atmospheric pressure should be stabilizing after some recent fluctuations, which usually bodes well for a consistent bite. Winds are generally expected to be light, making for comfortable fishing. However, for those on the New Jersey and Delaware coasts, there might still be some lingering northeast gusts from a coastal storm that passed a day or two prior, so always pay attention to your local conditions. Water temperature. As we're firmly in mid-October, water temperatures across the country are steadily cooling. In northern lakes, you might see temperatures in the low to mid-50s, while larger bodies of water and southern regions will still be in the high 60s or even low 70s, though they are consistently dropping. This cooling trend is absolutely key, friends, because it signals to fish that it's time to put on the feed bag before winter sets in. They're trying to pack on calories. Rivers, interestingly, can sometimes heat up faster than the air, so factor that into your strategy if you're hitting moving water. Moon phase. On October 14th, 2025, we are in a waning crescent moon phase. The moon's illumination will be decreasing around 40%, and it will be around 22 to 23 days old in its cycle. While some popular fishing lore might suggest a slower bite during this phase, in my experience, it often creates predictable and strong feeding windows around dawn and dusk as the moon is visible. It's a prime time when fish might be more actively hunting in low light conditions, so target those golden hours. General fish activity. Overall, fish activity across the USA is transitioning from summer patterns to an aggressive autumn feeding period. Many species are in a fall feeding frenzy or fall turnover, bulking up for the colder months. This means they are often less picky and more willing to chase down a meal. Expect many species to be active, with a few perhaps still a bit sluggish in the mornings if air temperatures drop significantly. This is truly a season of abundance for anglers if you understand their behavior. So what's my final assessment for the bite on October 14th? I'd say we're looking at a good to excellent day for fishing. The stable, mild weather, coupled with cooling water temperatures driving fish to feed aggressively, creates fantastic opportunities. The waning crescent moon, while not traditionally a prime phase, means we'll likely see strong bites during those crepuscular hours. Just remember to adapt to the local conditions, friends, and focus on those prime feeding windows. All right, my angling family, that's your comprehensive forecast for Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. I wish each and every one of you tight lines and full live wells. May you have the most incredible day out on the water. Remember, folks, a bad day of fishing is still better than a good day at work. If you found this forecast helpful, please hit that like button, share it with your fishing buddies, and definitely subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future insights. And now, I want to hear from you. What are your plans for fishing this mid-October? What are you hoping to target, and what's your go-to autumn lure? Drop your thoughts, tips, and recent catches in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe, have fun, and catch some monsters. Nothing but net friends.